This weather is great in Houston today. It's about 83, 84 degrees. The wind is blowing about 15 miles an hour. But I'm making this video because I had a couple of my subscribers ask me the question, am I going to take the vaccine? And they asked this question on a few videos I made. So I'm going to go ahead and answer that question. Right now, I'm not going to take the vaccine unless I have to. And I'm not going to discourage anybody else not to take it. My wife can take it. My daughter and son, they can take it if they want to. But for me, I'm going to wait. And the reason why I'm going to wait is because about a couple of months ago, I tested positive for COVID. And if you know me, I don't believe anything the first time. So I tested that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I took 3 tests and all of them came back positive. So I quarantined for 14 days, 10 to 14 days. And after the 14th day, I went and took the test again and it was negative. But I'm not going to go into all the details about the symptoms. I didn't have really bad symptoms and I feel great right now. So I asked my doctor, should I take the vaccine? And he said, no, you probably should wait for about 90 days because you probably have already built up a immunity for the virus, for the coronavirus. And he said over 30 million people have already had this virus and have built up an immunity to it. So it's kind of confusing to me. If you already built up a natural immunity, why will they force you to take the vaccine? What's the reason? I know they're going to come up with all these variants and all of this other stuff, but taking this vaccine passport thing, I think it's wrong. You know, because if 30 million people have had this, and these are people that they know about, what about the people that they don't know about? So if 30 million have got it, I'm pretty sure you could probably got another 30 million that had it and didn't even know that they had it. And what was strange to me is about a month ago, my mother-in-law, she's totally disabled. She didn't get sick. She had a little sore on her toe, and we had to get some antibiotics. So we called the doctor, and he got kind of tired of treating her. So he said, send her to the hospital. So we had to call an ambulance. My wife didn't want to do it. So we called the ambulance, and they had to come and pick her up. She didn't have no fever. She didn't have no cough. This lady haven't coughed in 2-3 years, and nothing was wrong. And so the ambulance came, picked her up, took her to the hospital. My wife followed her, and they didn't want my wife to go in the room with her. They said, no, the policy, because of the COVID stuff, you're not allowed to go in the room. My wife said, yes, I need to go and see what's going on with my mom. I know we just bringing her in to be treated for a little sore on her toe. And I understood why my wife wanted to go back there, because a few months before that, maybe 3-4 months ago, she had 2 great aunts that went into the hospital. They were 83 and 84, went into the hospital within 2 weeks of each other with the COVID. And their family wasn't allowed to see them, not even through a glass window. So they were in the hospital for a few days, and the doctor came out and said, hey, they passed away from maybe it's a heart condition, but they labeled it as COVID. So they weren't able to see their aunts or their mother or anything. So that bothered my wife, because she's sending her mom in the same conditions. Her mom didn't have COVID or anything, but she was kind of skeptical of all of this stuff going on. So she kept bothering the nurses and doctors. I need to be there with my mom. And they kind of got frustrated with her a little bit. And about an hour and a half later, they called my wife and say, oh, your mom tested positive for COVID. And she said, no, that can't be possible. She ain't have no flu, no fever, no nothing. This lady was doing fine. So they said, since she tested positive, we're going to put her in a room with these other people that are positive with COVID. She said, no, send my mom back home. So they said, you got to sign an agreement that you don't want your mom to be here. She said, just send my mom home. I signed whatever. So they sent her back home. And that was on a Sunday. So she got home. So the nurse came in that Tuesday, not the Monday, but the Tuesday, and my wife explained to her what was going on. She said, you want me to test your mom for COVID? She said, please. So she tested my wife, mom, or my mother-in-law for COVID. And 2-3 days later, the test results came back negative. And that was kind of strange to me, because she went in for a little sore on her toe, and they said she tested positive that Sunday, and then that following Tuesday she was tested negative. So I don't know. I believe if we would have put her back there and left her mom there, that we probably wouldn't see her again, because they were going to put her in this room with these patients that had COVID. It could have been COVID, or it could have been the flu or whatever going on in this room. So she probably would have caught whatever these other people had, and she probably wouldn't have came out of that hospital. So my mother-in-law is doing fine. We didn't see no symptoms and nothing. And this was very strange to me. You could test positive and 2 days later you test negative, and it could be. So I don't know if they get more money for calling this stuff COVID. I hear rumors and stuff, but I don't go off rumors. If you guys know, let me know.
Hospitals do get reimbursed when caring for patients on Medicare, including those with COVID-19. Medicare is a government-funded insurance program for those 65 and older. The question is, how much are hospitals getting, and are they inflating the numbers? It's a topic circulating on social media, and News 8 viewers want to know more about. We received an email stating, quote, "My boss heard from a doctor that hospitals are paid $9,000 each listed COVID death." Another person claimed a friend's relative, quote, "just passed away from cancer, but when they received the death certificate, the death was listed from COVID-19. When they questioned the hospital about it, the hospital told them that this is what they were told to do because the hospital gets $37,000 per COVID-19 death. How often is this happening? We can verify hospitals do get paid more for COVID-19 related cases. A provision in the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security, or CARES Act, pays an additional 20% on top of traditional Medicare rates during the public health emergency. How much are hospitals getting? The numbers vary. During a television interview, a Minnesota state senator said it was $13,000 for someone admitted with COVID-19 and $39,000 if they were placed on a ventilator. But those estimates have not been verified. According to a Medicare spokesperson, while hospitals do get reimbursed more for patients on ventilators, quote, Medicare adjusts hospital payment based on geographic variation in local costs. Finally, are hospitals inflating the numbers? While it's possible, there's no proof of it happening. That same Medicare spokesperson told us claims with inaccurate diagnosis, or DRG, would be subject to recoupment and or other potential civil or criminal charges for false claims. To date, we couldn't find any hospitals cited for making inaccurate claims on discharge papers or death certificates.
But I'm sharing this video. No, I'm not gonna get vaccinated until more research has come out. Maybe I'm forced to. Maybe they may create this vaccine passport saying that you can't go into grocery stores without having this passport, this vaccine passport. If you already had the virus and got some kind of immunity to it, why do you need a vaccine passport or be vaccinated? All this stuff is really strange to me. So that's my answer to the question. You guys, you can take the vaccine if you want to. I'm gonna look at more research. I know a lot of my family members have already taken Moderna. I know you got the Pfizer and you got Johnson & Johnson. I heard last week Johnson & Johnson had 15 million doses that they had to get rid of because they didn't put something in it. But it's so much going on in the news. And if you watch CNN, you're going to get depressed. That's all they talk about, negative, everything. People dying every day, dying. So that's my answer. So subscribe to my channel and have a great day.